YouTube, Jesus Saves. So I thought I'd make this video, and I hope I get through it because these glasses, and I am hot, and when I get hot, I left the little heat on for a while. I was in the kitchen, and I'm in the kitchen cooking. So don't get distracted, or let me get distracted, because I know we're on a timer here, because a lot of our attention is everywhere, and we have that seasoning that's coming up for the kids, graduations, colleges, and all the graduation things is right around the corner. So with that said, so you hear anything in the background, that's just normal daytime stuff that goes on. And I got a lot of work that's being done in my backyard. I might always say backyard. It's not my property, but it's right in my backyard. Okay, the subject is, and what I wanted to talk about, because I was in there and I was cooking, and I just always remembered doing a lot of cooking, for events. So, and because it's my father's brother, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this today. Okay, celebrate. What do you celebrate? Who do you celebrate? And Egypt, come on now, I'm doing a video. I'm not gonna take it out. They got their dogs. So also I have to give them baths. So I'm glad he did that. It reminded me. And yeah, I'm not starting over. So celebrate. Who do you celebrate? What do you celebrate? Like, for instance, I've been doing a lot of celebrating because I don't have people to help celebrate me and my accomplishments. It's been going on like my whole entire life, and I even spoke on it about, it seemed like people was always happy when I got in the hospital or locked up or a black eye. It's weird. Well, and the reason I got on this, and it came to me because I had called someone earlier and asked them to do an errand for me. And I said, and it's like, I already be knowing stuff, because I said, do you have to do this for this person? Because I know it can wait, because I really don't like to go nowhere on the first of the month anyway, because people be in the stores acting crazy. I just was going to go out and get, a few things. And they said, yeah, I got to do something, it's okay. And then they went on to tell me, this person is having this and you're not invited. I didn't ask for an invite. I'm constantly building my YouTube channel. I don't need any distractions. It's like this thing about, in my family, I'll be honest, it's dysfunctional and it's a lot of division. So the Lord led me to talk about celebrate. What and who do you celebrate? Do you celebrate yourself? Do you celebrate yourself winning? Other people losing? Do you celebrate life? Do you celebrate Jesus? Do you celebrate your birthday? Other people's birthdays? Who do you celebrate? Do you even celebrate God, Jesus? Do you celebrate other people more than you celebrate God and Jesus? Do you celebrate the first of the month because you get food stamps and your check? Because I do know a lot of people that celebrate the first of the month. Like, it's not 30 or 20 or 29 or 31 days in that month. And what I'm saying is, it's not about the month, it's not about the day, but what do you celebrate? Think about it. And who do you celebrate? And another thing, who do you invite? A lot of people like to celebrate, and they are very particular who they invite. And have you been invited? And God had put that on my mind, because I know I was always invited, but I knew I wasn't wanted around. It was because of my skills. Stop, Georgia and Egypt. It was my skills, my skills. And I already know. And I knew when I would cook, and I would, like, for instance, when I went to my sister's house, and she would always say, we're having a party or this and that. And a lot of times they were traps, And I said, okay. I would go and I do all the cooking, all the cooking, all the cooking. And she or whoever else would invite a lot of people over. And of course they coming because Sherry B will be in town. Very popular. Been popular at my school. Popular for the things that I do and the things I have done. Even some of the bad things. Down to being able to, knuck up, fight. So, yeah. I was invited, but I knew that they didn't want me there. It was just because I could do so much and people liked it, me being around because of my energy. I'm fun. I like to dance. I'm very, very conversational. I can carry on a conversation whether I'm drinking or not drinking. It's just I always would come up and spike up the conversation, whether it's about a dish I make or about football, basketball game, or about a good TV show or favorite ice cream. I just always been a person to be able to conversate, but I noticed a lot of people in my family weren't able to do that. And then when I would get around and in the room, they feel indifferent because everybody would want to talk or conversate with me or say something about, my hairdo. How did you do that? Or can you do mine? It was always something like that. So, and it boils down to this. Are we celebrating for people winnings? And are we celebrating for the right reasons? And what should we and who should we celebrate? What and who should we celebrate? Well, I don't know if y'all noticed lately. I've been on YouTube for 8 months, but mainly my whole life I have been to myself, other than when I was with my son's father, and I basically made myself be in the relationship because I wanted my son to have his father in the home, and that's just something I always wanted because I didn't have my father in the home, but I always could see my father when I wanted to, wait till the weekends, to go to the G joints and where everybody go and piccolo and dance on the dance floor and cut a fool. I know I could see my father, but I wanted my son to be in a home raised with his father. So I made myself stay with his father, even though things was going on that I didn't agree with, the drug thing. But yeah. But lately I've been celebrating myself, my accomplishments, because I have to. I don't have a lot of friends, and I don't have family, real family. When I say real family, and trust and believe me, I'm the baby of the family. But I always felt like I had to be the biggest, the baddest, and the brains. Literally, I had to write letters and stuff, to send to school, and get my mama to sign it, and I write the letter. I taught my mama some reading and some things. My son taught her, things with electronic. She had taught herself some things too, once she got the hang of it. But I always felt like I was the oldest. I have one brother and I have one sister. And I have a heap of nieces, a lot of nieces, a lot of females. So yeah, I was just thinking, yeah, who do you celebrate? What do you celebrate, and who are you inviting? I remember people used to say they won't let me come to their house because they said I was gonna start something. But I figured it out. They thought their man was gonna look at me and want me because I am a very attractive woman, and I always could dance. I had a nice shape and stuff like that, and I'm very good at cooking, and men like all the things I just said. So I noticed, a lot of times I was not invited to places because they thought that their man was looking at me. But the fun thing and the real thing is, they were looking at me. But the good thing to know about and food for thought, I don't never wanted no one else's man. I've always had my own man, and sometimes I had 5 in school, 5 that wanted me. I was popular. And even in my 20s, I had like 4 or 5 boyfriends that was waiting to see me, would come and see me. Knocking my mom's door when I was staying there. And then I left when I was 17 and I went back. Yeah, these men knew I was single and I was ready to mingle. And I was going through a breakup and things like that. But that's the part about it, y'all. When you know that you're being envied, and it don't bother me because I'd rather be to myself than to be somewhere where I start drinking, and I don't drink anymore, but this is in the past where I start drinking and somebody would try to pick a fight with me because they just didn't want me there anyway. It was just they wanted to get the company, the people to come because I'm very interesting. You get what I'm saying? Just watch my YouTube. You'll see all the interesting things that I can do. And I noticed lately, since I've been doing my YouTube, and I've been getting a lot of YouTube attention, people feel inadequate, but they shouldn't feel that way. You know why? Because a lot of things that I'm showing YouTube, you guys are YouTubers, you can learn from me. And a lot of things I'm showing you guys, I have shown them to family members, down to recipes, But I feel like we should celebrate God and Jesus at all times, And mainly my channel is all about God and Jesus. And I just do the fun stuff and all the things and the gifts that they have given me to enlighten my channel. You get what I'm saying? So, I pray for the people, that envy real, uprighteous, and genuine and original folk, and I pray and I hope God and people that don't know God and Jesus to seek our Father and His Son, because that's what you're probably missing, and that's why you probably can't be blessed in the way that He's blessing me, is because I've always, whether I was drinking, whether I was fornicating, or whether I was doing anything that was not of Him, I've always told people about God. I've always told people about God, my Father, His Son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit that has always dwelled in me. So, YouTube, I'm sorry about the little tears and stuff like that, but these tears are for the people that hate and the people that try to demolish or change the character and the loving spirit that God has put in me and try to make me look like I'm wrong for stop having sex and for stopping. I'll say this. I won't say stopping. For sacrificing, being single, not having sex, not drinking, not drugging, not attending events where it can cause me to be locked up or in a hospital. Okay, and for my family members that do not support me, I'm still gonna pray for you, and hopefully you seek God and you see that God and Jesus is in me. Okay, and YouTube, Jesus saves. Yes, He does. He saves.